I was saying before Comcast decided it didn't want to play nice anymore. Is I agree with Scott. I think it's Tiefling, and
I will let you all know. Wizards, D&D pronounces it Tiefling.
It's because uber nerds need to say things funny to sound important.
No.
That's the way it goes. Yeah. It's like
They're the fucking creators. You can, as a creator, you can fucking call something whatever the hell you want when you name it.
It's like when you name
Also-
your kid. It's like when you name your kid and you do weird spelling just to make it sound unique and different. It's like, no, your kid's name's Matthew, no matter how many extra letters you throw in there or how many sound Y's.
German, which is like, has a lot of bases of.
But I speak English.
It's fine if you speak English. That's fine. You speak New Age English, which is not the same as Old English. Just gonna put that out there. And the E is after the I, so in a lot of countries, it is that second letter is what you pronounce like as the E.
Fair.
I
Next time I'm wearing a suit, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, sweetheart, where's my tea? Sweetheart, I can't find my tea. That the purple plaid."
Oh yeah,
tea.
GIF and GIF is like a I don't know.
Whoa.
Again,
whoa.
let's.
I don't care what the creator.
Someone else brought that
just
up
like
now.
Wizards of the Coast. I don't care what the creator says. It is a graphical, graphical GIF. Okay.
I'm with you on that as well. I also said GIF.
This is not GIF. I don't care what the creator
because
says.
That's how they pronounce
Okay.
it. I am with the creator because as a creator, when I name something and when I create something, I want it to be called what I created.
And you know what? We appreciate the genius of people who create wonderful things, but sometimes they're still wrong.
Right.
Like
You know what I mean?
sometimes as a creator, you're wrong.
Like
Listen,
the
my
UK
parents created me. They're very often wrong.
The UK.
You know?
Aren't you guys glad we did this episode? We could have just been like, well, Sam said he wasn't going to be here because he's going on a road trip. Actually, he never told us.
Yeah, no, he never told
but
us.
we're still doing it, so you're welcome, internet. This is what we've degraded to.
The UK created English, but America is where English went to be perfected. We started pulling out unnecessary.
Oh my fucking goodness.
We started pulling out unnecessary letters. There's no U in color. There's no need. There's no need for a U in color.
Listen, I get shade thrown at me from
Also in
the UK because
armor.
I say Minotaur.
I
like
feel you guys.
the big bull creature that has an axe and
How else supposed to
numbers
say
and
it? Fucking Minotaur.
Minotaur.
Minotaur?
Minotaur.
It's a Minotaur. It's a Minotaur.
Here's a Minotaur.
I do say Minotaur.
I actually say Minotaur when I'm spelling it to remember how to spell it. Like I say BEA beautiful.
Oh, that's like me with Wednesday. I always say Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday. I do that in my head to remember.
Because I'm like, what the fuck is the T before the
I still do that for together to get her. I still do that.
I don't
too.
do that.
To get her. Yeah.
Just that one. Wednesday is pretty much the only one that I still.
Minotaur.
It always makes me think of Labyrinth. You know, hello. Did you say hello?
What about the H in crone? Crone makes sense. Crone is like the H in the end. Hun. Crone. It makes sense. Crone makes sense. Don't even start with me with my last name. No.
Crone. Right?
Crone. Yeah.
Crone.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people say cron, which is really weird to me because I would never think that, but I can understand them saying it that way.
Then they're gonna have to deal with the wrath of Kron.
Cron. I don't know. I'm always just like, no, it's pronounced cron, but it's fine, whatever. I don't care. Like,
My name's
today the
Scott.
dentist lady,
Mispronounce
the
that.
lady at the front desk for the dentist today called me, not Margaret. She called me like
Marjorie.
Margareth or something like that.
Margareth.
Margareth. And I thought it was the weirdest thing because I'm like, whose name is Margareth?
Well,
She's
where's
like,
there's no
Are
H?
you Margareth? And I was like, Margaret. But yes, yeah, that's me. I was like, and then when I came back on the way out to pay, she's like, oh, they were calling you Maggie. Should I call you Maggie? I like that. That's cute. I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can call me Maggie.
It's a new name. Only millennials get named Maggie.
I don't know.
Millennials killing nicknames.
God.
Yeah.
Killing nicknames.
I don't really care. People call my name I always get my name pronounced weird or spelt weird, or usually it's with a C instead of a K because people spell it like crone, like Crone.
It's aluminum and not aluminium.
Aluminum.
I can understand the aluminium thing because the way it looks, but I also just pronounce it aluminum.
Or
That's how I was brought up, I think.
I'm asking you a Pacific question.
Pacific?
I'm asking you a Pacific question right now.
Pacific?
No.
Come on.
No.
I grew up in Boston again, so it's a little different lingo when you're inner city versus suburbs, but you know, it's a Pacific question.
The thing I hear a lot is espresso.
Oh yes,
Because I like, you know.
That hurts
Yeah.
me. That hurts me a little.
It's like, oh, the hipster in me is dying.
Because again, you're doing the UK thing. You're adding a letter into a word that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, it's espresso.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, let's get back to the bar.
Sorry, welcome people.
Yeah, you guys are actually here for a reason. We discussed a reason for you guys to be on this.
I don't know. I like this small talk sometimes. It's good to
No. Hey, listen, I'm perfectly fine with derailing into small talk as often as we do. But
okay, I just wanted to say I don't agree with you about tiefling versus tiefling, and then it escalated. I didn't escalate it.
You know what? Google pronunciation. Let's find out.
I did this already, and I have a video proof. And I didn't want to do that, but like.
Are you talking about the crappy fourth edition Dungeons and Dragons garbage video because it was 4th edition, made by Wizards of the Coast, where it was hosted by an English person? You can't use an English person accent on a 4th edition video.
Wizards Online 4th edition posted that shit.
The gnomes, literally the video is about gnomes being monsters and tieflings being a primary race. Like they're making fun of how bad their own edition is in the video. Like that's Well,
I found a pronunciation.
I asked you a question. I'm gonna ask you.
He's gonna find the one that agrees with him.
I just found pronounce wiki, and it just says tiefling. That's all it says. It says tiefling. Tiefling. You can hear it in the stream.
Tiefling.
There you go.
Tiefling.
I'll do it again for you.
I didn't hear shit.
Well, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it, but the stream.
Also, I'm not gonna believe that. I didn't hear it either, so.
Done.
Oh, this is awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes, Ali Rant. Fake news. This is fake news. Fake brought to you by Lost Ninja Show.
That's right. All about that fake news. All right. So, where were we? Bars.
Oh, good point, Great Wheelo. Good point. I'm just saying. In every game they pronounce it tiefling.
I can't side with
all
this.
the devs
Listen,
call it
I
tiefling.
can't side with Wizards
I
of the
haven't played D&D forever, and everyone has always called it tiefling.
Wizards of the Coast. No, Wizards of the Coast is not infallible. They created 4th edition.
They created 4th edition,
Done.
and again, the creator of
4th edition was awful.
Gifts calls it.
I didn't mind 4th edition's shaman. Shaman was actually pretty fucking cool.
4th edition.
4th edition shamans. Look it up. It's pretty fucking cool.
This is a company that was like, wow, we should make World of Warcraft on paper, 4th edition.
All right, so anyways, you can create something and name it poorly. If you want to get into really argumentative naming conventions, how about
can't even say
word. Like how, yeah, I know.
You're gonna believe this guy? What?
I say genocide. A lot. I know people that say genasi or genocide or genasi. I say genocide, meaning the human inner planes mixture.
Yeah.
Like earth, air, water, fire. Maggie, how do you say genocide?
I think I say it like you.
Genocide.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if I'm right, because that word I'm not an authority on that word.
So that one I say genocide, even though I've heard many different pronunciations because of it just again it's phonetic, like hooked on phonics work for me. You know, like it just makes sense. All right. What are we?
Praise Paylor or praise Pelor?
I'm hitting on a bartender.
Paylor or Pelor? That's a good one. Paylor or Pelor? It's Pelor.
I say Paylor.
I say praise Pelor.
I say Paylor. What is the proper? I don't know the proper though.
Wait, you could say Pelor because the
I say Paylor.
You can say Pelor. Praise.
I say Paylor, and I don't know if I'm saying it proper, but that's how I've always said it, and I've had multiple characters that worship.
See,
Paylor.
Ollie's not fully dumb, just mostly dumb.
See, he does Paylor too. He pronounces not Pelor. Oh, you do Pelor. Oh, I don't say Pelor. I say Paylor.
I don't say pay like payday, like P-A-Y. I say pe.
Pelor.
Pelor.
I don't know. I guess I do more like Paylor, like pay. But I don't know.
Listen, Ollie has his own homebrew world that I play in, and it's literally got like 17 extra letters in there. The name of the world is Yavik Scare, and it's got like weird, crazy extra letters in there. Like literally everybody I know, I pronounce it better than everybody I know, and I pronounce it the worst out of all the people in the stream because I'm the only American in the stream. So, but moving on. Okay, where are we?
We're in a bar.
We're in a bar. We're
Drinks
drinking. We're talking about how
barbers.
hot the bartender is.
And we're almost done with this hour already, so.
Jeez.
We're almost what?
Done with this hour already.
Wait, are you fucking kidding me?
Only 15 more
Oh
minutes.
shit, we just argued for like 30 minutes about this shit.
That's awesome. I'm sorry.
I'm
It's
sorry, internet.
Well, I mean, we've all been so busy lately. When was the last time the three of us just hung out after stream for a long time? So
I never
hang
hang out
That's
after
true.
streaming. I just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do, but yeah, I guess it's mostly Scott and I that chat.
We
just-
used to,
we
but
just
it's
figured
been
it
so busy. So busy. Uh thanks to Duran.
I'm having the issue that Corey was having where I'm having like a little bit of bread stuck in my tooth.
and found. I'm on the hunt. I'm after you.
Did you ever see? No, we
Okay.
watched that movie together. I think Scott, didn't we?
Which movie?
That
You were holding-
terrible.
the one you and you were holding hands.
Yeah, that one. The one I think we watched it at Dave's house. That terrible Tom Hanks Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I couldn't. He told me about that birthday event a
Oh,
week before
okay.
it, and I was managing a restaurant, so
Nick was
I
there then.
required. Yeah, Nick was there.
That movie
Nick
was
showed up,
terrible.
and not me, which is funny. But
That movie was terrible.
yeah, God, you talking about Mazes and Monsters?
Yes, that was it.
I've never seen Mazes and Monsters,
it's
but
so-
I read the news articles about the actual situation many years prior to you guys.
It has that like low budget movie of like, we need to fill out the time to make this proper length, so we're gonna have long shots of cars driving and parking.
Someone's like, "Is this D&D or another one of the 40,000 podcasts on the internet?"
It's
Uh,
both
this-
today.
Yeah, today it's both. and
This
usually
is
it's a
the
game.
hour in between that nobody asked for. That's what the title should be.
This is week
So-
34.5, not 35.
So you remember in Rivendell? You remember Rivendell in Rehoboth?
Yeah.
They actually had a lot of situations because of that. Those articles that came out years and years and years ago. Rehoboth is a super conservative, like even though it's like a farm town, it's like a super conservative, like very religious town. And he had to really, really claw his way into building a foundation to have his business there. And it's still around. It actually does very well. And the owner of that shop is amazing. But he had a really hard time at the beginning because people were like, is this like a Satan store? Because he was just opening like, no, I sell like fantasy books and card games. And they're like, so where do you slaughter the sheep? Like,
Oh my god.
but hey, it's everywhere because those, fake news stories that are out there have
Mazes
been
and
for ages.
monsters.
Mazes and monsters. All right. Do we try to get back on track, or do we just finish the rest of this hour bullshitting and get back on track in the next hour? Like, I don't even know. Like, do I try to save this hour? Do I get my Elmer's glue?
Oh, Elmer's glue.
Yeah, it's good for huffing.
It did not really stick anything to anything. Like what?
Stuck
what's
to your
the-
fingers like a motherfucker.
What is the point of Elmer's glue? I guess it's you know what it is? It's the glue that they use in school because they want to ensure no one actually glues anything to somebody else.
Yeah, or gets poisoned, or so it's like the safe glue for kids.
I wonder what's the weirdest thing a teacher's had to deal with someone gluing onto something else.
Well, there have been teachers that have been like duct taped to doors and stuff like that. There's been like news reports about that.
Why
But,
are you bringing duct tape to school?
well, like kids, like really, really bad classrooms in bad places. But usually Elmer's glue, I use that for making homemade Play-Doh. You ever do that before?
No,
I
not
just-
with Elmer's glue.
Google Elmer's glue Play-Doh recipe, and it's cool. And you can make all the colors you want. It's lots of fun. But anyways, all right. Let's just keep this on nerd talk then, I guess, for the rest of this hour. We'll continue at the bar afterwards. Topic. Mathis, you're playing Divinity Original Sin 2.
I am.
What have they clearly stolen from Dungeons and Dragons hardcore?
Oh god.
It's like a
Everything?
hard steal.
Like everything.
I mean, to be fair, D&D, which was the progenitor of all this stuff, right? D&D stole from history and books prior to that, and so on and so forth. But
I made a video
This-
about the history of potions, which is really interesting.
The
That
story-
includes-
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like
that's
a
cool.
20-minute video if you're interested in.
Actually,
watching.
throw the link in chat so I can see that later on.
I will.
I'm gonna save that later on.
The
It's
story.
actually, I think it's a decent video. I was like pretty proud of it. I don't know if actually anybody cares. I wonder how many views is on it actually.
The storyline in Divinity 2 takes place at a time that reminiscent of the time of Troubles in Faerun. All the gods are either dead or mortal, and like the story is like you are on a quest to become a god and reinstate divinity in the world.
So the whole purpose is to become God?
Sort of. Like one of the gods still exists, but they're like dying, and you become one of the gods chosen. The twist is, and it's not really a twist because they introduce it right at the beginning of the game, is only one of the 4 of you in your party get to become the god at the end of the game.
Wow, you just completely ruins that game for me. I knew nothing about it, and now
That's like the first hour of the game. They tell you that.
Ruined the first hour for me.
They're just like, hey.
You didn't for Divinity 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're just like right away, like they're because you each go and see a separate god, and they're like, the thing is, only one of you are gonna be able to ascend to divinity. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
It's like Hunger Games shit up in her.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the History of Potions video isn't that long. It's only 5 minutes and 58 seconds.
That is some
also
serious,
literally if you Google History of Potions and Games, it's the first video that comes up. And it has like 23,000 views on it right now, which is pretty cool.
I'm about to make one more individual
Yes.
view. a whole view. Nice.
Oddly, like the one video that I have that has over 1 million views is like, guess what the topic is?
What?
It's sexually awkward moments in video games.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. It has like I think it's on its way to 2 million views at this point, but
I think probably the most awkward moment for me with any medium was I remember my little brother Eric asked to watch, it's called Euro Trip or something like that.
Yeah, it's a movie.
At one point in time.
Yeah.
And so my mom was like, yeah, sure. And I think he was like 13 and I was like 20, just swinging by and visiting home. And I was like, I have no idea what this movie is, because by that time I'd already sworn off previews because previews ruin movies. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching this movie, and all of a sudden Euro Trip, and I'm sitting there like, this is my 13-year-old brother and my mom. This is not a comfortable movie.
Are watching Euro Trip.
do you keep watching it?
Well, I was like,
all the way through?
oh, you want me like getting up and walking out? Does that make it more awkward? So it was one of those like super awkward moments where I'm like, yeah, this is weird. And this was, again, before things like Game of Thrones and whatnot were on.
Fun family night.
It was because that was, again, 12 years ago. 12 years ago. So that was before TV was porn. That was when TV alluded to porn, or you could stay up until after 11 o'clock on HBO and effectively watch softcore porn. But otherwise, TV wasn't. Nowadays, TV's porn. And so, like, it's normal. Like, if I were to watch something like Game of
Scott's such
Thrones,
an old man.
Not
Now TV. Where back in my day, TV wasn't porn.
I would totally watch Game of Thrones with my mom now and be like, whatever, it doesn't matter. But at that time, that was not common. That was like unusual, at least for me. And so it was like, oh man, this is like.
I definitely think that the amount of skin that has been allowed to be shown has drastically changed over the years, because people have changed. Well, at least in the Western space. I think in other areas in the world, like taking baths with your whole entire family while naked is not a weird thing. And I think in the US, we've idolized sexuality, which I think is like a weird thing to talk about. But I think like that's kind of what has happened. Like, whereas in other countries, it's like, oh, you're naked, it's fine, whatever. That's just everybody, you know.
Listen, like, it's here too. Go to any YMCA men's locker room. Again, you want to go back to teenage years. Any 11-year-old kid that walked through a YMCA,
oh yeah, the older
like,
people were just like butt naked. They don't care at all. Yeah.
You're just like, whoa, like, whoa. There was again, you know, once you get into sports, you get over it anyways. And I did sports in my
you know
years.
what I need? Why aren't there more left-handed mugs? Because I literally am like a left-handed drinker, and every time I'm like, well, if I drink with my left hand properly, then you don't get to see how cool the mugs are. Like, what is this? Or have it on both sides so that you're equal opportunity hands. I don't know.
Wait, are you just a left-handed drinker, or are you left-handed?
I am ambidextrous, so like I just switch it up depending on the situation. Like,
I mean, if you're on a keyboard, that's fair.
Be right-handed with my mouse, so I'm like right-handed with my mouse.
Well, I mean, right-handed with the mouse is pretty norm, right? It's
But I
was
could
like,
use my left hand. I'd probably be better at the left-handed mouse, honestly. But it's just like too complicated to deal with that shit.
there are left-handed mice nowadays, aren't there? Again, growing
Yeah,
up in the
there are.
90s.
They're left-handed mice, and
They,
they're
like-
left-handed keyboards.
I was well. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I know programmers' keyboards favor the left hand as opposed to no, programmers' keyboards favor the right hand, whereas the typical QWERTY keyboard favors the left. So, but anyways, did we kill enough time that we could just take a break and come
I
back?
think we did.
Yeah, they were good.
Okay.
All right, well, next hour we'll see what we can get done.
Yeah, let's
And,
actually do something.
We'll
What just happened?
play some D&D.
You know, I'll tell you exactly
I
what
can't
just
believe you
happened.
spent 40
We
minutes
just-
talking about the
Maggie,
tiefling.
Maggie, we just lost initiative.
All right,
So-
bye guys. Back in a minute.
That was
And we're back to actually play Dungeons and Dragons.
So the suggestion is that we have a podcast where we just sit around and talk about pronunciation. I'm just kidding.
I can't be on another podcast.
You're at a bar. You're at a bar.
I want to do a podcast someday.
We could talk about this after the stream.
Lost Initiative podcast. That'll be a goal on our Patreon. You want the Lost Initiative podcast? We'll have to hit like a minimum of like 500 or something.
We will come up with a number. We'll make it happen. Let's keep going with the game. That's what we're here. So, you guys are at the bar. You talk about how attractive the young lady was that had served the drinks. Not young, but lady that served the drinks.
And he said he needed 2 more drinks in order to make that happen, make it or be attracted to her. And I said, only 2?
And I think it's pretty much where everything went from there, derailed from there. So, all right. So you guys enjoy your drinks. Is talking is one of those things where unless you sit close, has to be kind of loud, kind of like if, when you're in a busy place, you have to speak louder to make sure people can actually hear you. One of those things. Do you guys do that? Or do you try to like get up close to one another so you can have a quieter conversation or?
I imagine that we just fucking yell. Yeah. I don't imagine Anders and Grommen are the type to cuddle up with each other.
Probably correct.
These are both people who have gone to the bar many, many times, probably every day of their life.
So the you guys are sitting there and having your conversation, then shouted over everybody else's voices. What do you talk about? So the drinks eventually, another drink does eventually come over, and when she puts them down in front of you guys, and maybe Grommen tosses a smile at her, she goes, "Aye, these ones ain't on the house."
Anders kind of gives like a lazy thumbs up.
Grommen's like, "We didn't order these."
"No, he did." And then gestured at the tiefling that's kind of like,
"Oh, the one you rescued."
On purpose.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, the one that I took off the ceiling fan or the light or whatever. Okay. Yep. All right. I clink mugs with Anders, and I'm like, "Number 2, so you're going to ask her?"
Anders shrugs and takes a swig.
When Anders is done with his second drink, Grommen's gonna...
That's rough.
Does she look pretty yet after 2 drinks?
Hold on. 1, she may have looked pretty before the first drink. 2, you're probably drunk before you got here.
True.
3, Anders kind of caught in a hard spot. Does he not finish the drink to not have to ask, or does he finish the drink?
No. This is like once the drink is done. Grommen would never stop having the entire drink.
Okay, you have to ask once it's gone. Okay. So now that the drink is finished and Ander really has to pee.
Ander gets up to pee. See you later.
You get robbed. Ander's now naked and has nothing. His spell book's gone. No, you so you guys, Grommen, you ask. And Mathis, you had said, "Is she attractive?" Yes, she is.
Sweet.
Unless you're not into that type.
What is that type? What are we talking about? What's her right? Is she a human?
Am I describing her?
Well, give me like at least is she human? Half.
I feel like we need to roll, and then we
perception check.
Perception check to figure out
how good does she look. No, so she looks like she's human. She's probably human. If not human, then very close to it. She stands at probably about like 5'3", so like really tall to you. She has very, very dark hair, but very light eyes. Honestly, she's like covered in sweat right now. And like her clothes are kind of sticking to her, but that's because she's working really hard to make this place going. But she seemed to have a bit of a nice smile. She's just tired and working really hard.
I know the perfect thing to say to her when she comes.
Oh, God. Okay. So like, after you guys have been ignored.
Anders hitting on barmaids. 101. Here we go.
Yeah. Or he's about to cause some shit.
After you guys have... after you guys have been sitting there for an extended period of time with an empty drink, eventually she comes over. It's like she kind of like looks over to Grommen and gives that nod, like another drink, and Grommen gives that nod back, like yeah. And she comes over with 2 more huge drinks and slams them down.
So
and she goes to say something, but Ander says,
"Yeah." Ander picks up the drink and says, "Story tells it. Corey said you're free after the 3rd drink."
Oh God. Oh God. What?
Corey.
Corey said what? About me?
I take a sip, just kind of look at her.
You're friends with Corey?
I shrug. Friends is a strong word.
She rips the mug out of your hands, takes Grauman's mug away too, and like storms away from the table.
He meant Chad. Chad.
You see Ander.
What'd you do, Anders?
You
God.
see Ander kind of like watch wistfully as the mug gets taken away, and you see him lean down, and then he comes up and you see him unscrewing his flask. Starts drinking out of his flask.
Okay. What do you guys do next?
Way to ruin our chances with the hot babe, man.
Our chances. I think there was a twofer there. So you
Ander is not a happy drunk.
Yeah. Does he say that? Like, is he actually in the third person? Ander is not a happy.
Well, did
drunk.
Grauman say anything for me to say that? Because that was.
Grauman said those exact words.
Yeah, he said, way to ruin our chances.
Then then Ander will say that in third person. He'll just be like, Ander ain't no happy drunk. And he drinks.
What? And then Ander vomits everywhere. Someone just said. Oh my god. Someone's like, kill Ander. I guess Grauman's gonna get up and go over to the bar then to get us a drink, because I'm assuming that the bartender isn't, or the barmaid is no longer going to assist us at our table.
Yeah. So you make your way over to the bar, and when you do, one of the bartenders really quickly actually comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, what do you need?"
What's strongest drink?
Oh, I got that for you right here. Hold on 1 second. And he reaches down and he pulls out a bottle, and inside the bottle actually has like a moving liquid.
What it?
Good question. Do you want some? 10 gold a pop.
What do you say?
He said, good question. You want some? 10 gold a pop.
10 gold a pop. Like a glass or shot?
Shot or drink, whatever you'd like.
10 gold a drink or a shot. I get to choose. Grauman's like, drink.
All right. And he goes and gets a small glass and he pops the cork off and he goes to start pouring some in. And as he does so, something comes flying across the bar like a wet rag and hits him like on the side of the head. It kind of like sticks to the side of his head. He's like,
I want to catch the thing before it hits him in the head.
Roll me a dexterity save. No,
Okay.
no. Acrobatics or athletics check.
Okay. 21.
21. Wow. You perfectly catch that rag. Were you trying to do so obviously or subtly?
Obviously.
Okay. So you obviously catch the rag and you kind of like, "Coop, oh," and he like looks over to see what the hell just happened. And he sees one of the girls like waving at him like angrily. You know which girl it is. Waving him angrily and trying to tell him something, but it's so loud in the bar he can't quite really catch what it is that she's saying. All he knows, he's like, I don't know what the hell she wants. Thanks for catching that. And then continues to pour the drink for you. And he slides it over and he says, 9 gold for you.
And I say, I raise my finger for one more.
Oh, you sure you don't want the first one first?
Grauman actually raises his finger for 2 more.
Can I see the coin?
So is it going to be 29 then?
Well, he'll charge you 27.
27. Okay. So I hand him 29 initially, and then
I have to ask
he leaves
Maggie.
me coin. What?
When Grauman purchases things without other people around, do they say the price 300 gold? And Grauman goes, okay, and then hands over the bag and expects them to count the 300? Or does Grauman actually count out the gold himself?
I think he can count up to a certain amount. But yes, sometimes he does the math wrong. So if you would like me to roll like a probability of Grauman, like an intelligence check to see if Grauman rolls wrong, I'm totally okay with this.
Okay. So well, you can roll. Go ahead.
Okay. So intelligence or like a save?
Save if you get a bonus. I don't think you do.
No. I
Yeah,
have a
it's the same.
-2. I'm not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you get a
It's
bonus.
not going well. So how much do I give him instead of the 27?
Oh God. I'll allow you to roll a D2 and a D10. Odds under, evens over.
Roll 1d2 and then a
over.
1d what? A 1d10?
Yep.
2 and 2.
Okay, you give him 29 gold coins. He's all of a sudden like you pour it. You know, he says 27 gold. You give him 29.
Wait, so it looks like I'm tipping him. Oh, nice, Grauman. Oh,
Yeah.
good job, Grauman.
He's like, thanks. He's like, thanks. Like, and he's like, you're a good guy. And like reaches over and gives you like a pat on the shoulder, which is like, you know, like a little pat on the shoulder. And he slides the drinks over to you for you to carry. And he's like, actually, hold up. And like reaches, because I can't do the 2-finger whistle thing. I can whistle, just not that. And he calls for one of the girls to come over, and she like gives her the drinks on the trays and says, "Follow him." And so she'll actually carry it across the way for you. So
but
that
she's not gonna carry it all the way, because first we're gonna like stop and give it to the other barmaid that Anders was being rude to, apparently.
so
Grauman didn't hear what he said to her, so he just like she just took his drink and he's like, "What the fudge?"
So he calls the girl over to carry the drinks for you, obviously for safety's sake. And you realize that this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to get this girl to carry it for you, like doing you a favor. He's clearly being nice to you or whatever. Grauman can totally like stop that. So she's not the one carrying, but I got this.
Okay, sure, yeah.
So Grauman's just like, I got it. Okay, whatever you like, buddy. And hands you the tray with the 3 drinks on it.
Okay.
Or does Grauman do the whole, puts his fingers inside the actual liquid and carries it that way?
He just carries it. I imagine he can carry 3 small glasses in his one hand.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. So I'm just going to take them over. I'm going to hand one. I want to go up to the barmaid who Anders was being rude to and be like, "Sorry, my friend no good at talk to girl." And he's going to hand her the drink.
So when you go up to her, she's got her arms across her chest and she's very upset. And you say that, yeah, Andy no good at talk to girl, and he hands her the drink and she's like, "Is that supposed to make me feel better?"
Oh, pretty girl. He says pretty girl.
Yeah. And so you know, she notices, of course. She's like, "Is that supposed to make me feel better?" Like looking at the drink.
No, but you tried to take friend out, make a good time. But he at least try.
She takes the glass away and she's like, "I will drink this. Definitely. But just so you know, he's the reason why the blood pits got shut down. And business has been horrible since then." And with that,
he's like, "Anders?"
She went to go take the shot, but she like stops right before she, like right as it gets to her lip, and she's like, "No, Corey."
Oh. Grauman like takes his little glass. It looks probably so tiny in his hand, and he like cheers us with hers, and he like drinks it all.
Yep.
And then he's like, "What do you mean? How he do that?"
It's liquor, but it's like magical liquor that has an opiate kind of effect to it.
Oh,
so
shit.
As soon as you take that shot, like within seconds, you immediately start feeling amazing. Everything around you, the stress of the situation, all of the bad stuff that's going on just feels muted and far. You actually find some pretty heavy enjoyment in just like the rhythm of people beating the shit out of each other. There's like almost some music to it. Like you feel relaxed. You could almost like melt exactly where you are. As a matter of fact, would Grauman just sit down in like the nearest spot to him?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I was going to have you sit on somebody's lap. Luckily you don't. And we'll let Maggie get her food.
Manby's delivering food. Like the true hero, the stream hero.
Ever the gentleman. So you get your so what is it? He so you just immediely start to feel.
Grauman says the last thing that he said, and then it hits him. So he's like, "What do you mean he shut down the whatever? What was the thing?
Blood pits.
The blood pits."
Yep. And so you can see it hits her too, and she's like, "Oh, It brought better clientele, but they were assholes anyways.
Wait, what did he say? What'd she say?
It brought better clientele, but they were assholes anyways. And then she just seems to like not really care. And with that, she like picks up a tray that she was currently working with, and she starts like very lazily making her way over to the table that she was supposed to go up to. And when she finally gets to the table, like Gromman kind of like lazily watching after her, she didn't go very far. She kind of like
Gromman's
slouches
looking at
down
that
onto
booty.
the table. But she slouches down onto the table, so gets, you know, full view. And she's like clearly like very slowly handing out the drinks, and then stops partway after handing them out and is just like having a conversation with somebody, like chatting with them instead of handing out the drinks anymore. And that just seems to be completely relaxed at the moment. You still have the other one in your hand.
Okay. Gromman's gonna walk over to the table with her that she's at, and he's gonna finish handing out the drinks that are left on the thing, and then he's gonna ask her to come with him.
So after she like finishes the drink, she's like, "What? Roll me, Gromman, a persuasion check. She hates you, but now she's on alcohol and opioids.
You hear Bambi sneezing?
Regular.
Bless you. All right, I'm
Using my beard to
persuasion.
scratch.
Just normal persuasion? Sorry.
Normal persuasion. Yep.
Oh, that's performance. Sorry. Bad performance.
Terrible performance. Robin's gonna have a bad night. She is not calling you the next day.
13%. Oh my God. I know. They're right next to each other. I'm
That
sorry.
too indicates how many pumps Robin's got for the night.
Oh.
Oh no, let's not. No.
1 minute, man. So anyways, you with your persuasion 15, she's like, you say to her, what do you care to phrase how it is you convince her to come over and hang out with you and Otto? Because you're gonna succeed.
Who, Scott? Who?
Me.
Yeah, but who is she going to see?
Ander.
What's my name? Yeah, Ander. Good way to go.
It's my name.
Everyone has to drink. Wait, how did Anders' things get changed? Did he barf? What's going on?
Oh, in chat, you mean?
That has like a shot.
Oh, somebody probably commanded.
Somebody
vomit.
barfed, yeah.
Yeah, somebody did the vomit. command.
So Gromman finishes. Gromman's like, "Let me help you," and he like helps hand out the drinks. He's like, "You come with me," and he's like, and he kind of motions her and like puts out his arm like a gentleman.
Okay, and she'll actually take his arm and be like, you know, you seem like a nice guy. I bet you would do great in the blood pits.
And as he's walking her, he's like going over to the table, and he's still got the other glass in his hand. And he's like, this looks like so cheesy. He's like, "What blood pits?"
Oh, they're not here anymore. They got shut down by the guards.
Yeah, you say that. How we unshut them down?
I suppose a big enough bribe to the guards.
Oh, we hear guards no like bribe.
You're funny. You know, you have a lot of muscle. I bet you have more muscle than I have me.
Grumman like kind of like flexes a little.
He's like, and she'll do like the whole like grab, and Grumman's biceps are like biceps, triceps are ginormous. He is not somebody who works in the body because it's more for show. He totally gets the whole tricep workout down, and it's like one of those she cannot get her arms around, let alone his bicep, tricep. She can't get his arms around his forearm. Like he's such a massive. He's 7 feet tall. He's a massive person. So and she's like, "You are big." And then you guys eventually make your way over to where Ander is.
That's correct. That's his name.
You got it right this time. And Grumman like moves the seat for her to sit down and like pushes it in, sits down.
She'll totally just kind of like slump into the chair and she'll totally slump in the chair and sit forward and be like, are we gonna order some drinks? Like gesturing at the fact that the table just has some spilled beer on it and no
Ander
cups.
a drink, and Grumman says, "Drink it all. You will like."
Is it clear that there's something wrong with the two of them?
I mean, they're very much. I mean, roll me your insight check. Because you're intoxicated, I'd give you dis, but because of your ability, you have normal roll.
Oh, damn.
8.
They're just enjoying their drinks.
Ugh, damn it.
Yes, Andrew drinks a drink.
All right, I'll drink it.
Drink.
You know you
Shot.
would.
No,
Andrew
he
would probably drink
he
it.
normally would, but if like you walked away for like 5 minutes and you came back completely different, so
And
we're in like a shitty part of town.
Yeah. Well, you notice that the drink is not just a plain clear liquid or whatever. You notice there's something different about it, but it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, you take the drink, and once again, it hits you, and it hits you hard. However, Ander, it actually hits you different than it hits the two of them. For them, it was almost like an opiate, and it it just made them like super relaxed and enjoying the moment, and almost like blissful or what's the word I'm looking for here? Euphoria, euphoric. Couldn't say the word euphoric. Almost like euphoric. For you, that doesn't happen at all. As a matter of fact, you take the drink and you're like, "Ooh, that was delicious." You start to slump and like in your seat just a little bit, and then all of a sudden, something else happens. You look around the room, and you don't just see people around the room. You see everybody in the room is dead.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally every single solitary person in the room is dead.
Even Grommen?
Even Grommen.
What?
Every single solitary person in the room is dead in very, very different ways. It is.
Oh
bizarre.
no, you're getting your seer shit.
Yeah.
How does Grommen die?
This is why I don't stay around places too long.
So what does he do as soon as he kind of like blinks and looks around? And actually, do me a favor, roll me a wisdom save. Wisdom save. I said it right. Yes.
Sure.
5e.
16.
Okay, so you blink a few times, like kind of like taking it in and trying not to like freak out. But all of a sudden you come to realize, I meant to say intelligence save, but that's okay. That actually would just be a higher number for
It'd be
you.
like four higher than I already have.
Yeah, exactly. Or
So it'll be
4
at
higher
20.
than you have. But either way, so you make your save, and all of a sudden you realize what's going on. It takes you a moment, but you realize what's going on.
Okay, so all right. So my brain is just like, oh, all right.
It's like this much gore this quickly. It's like you freaks you the fuck out, and it's like your heart starts beating. But then all of a sudden, like you realize, like no, this is I'm dreaming right now. I know this is a dream. We've all had those moments, at least I know I have, where in real life you fall asleep, your dream is a fucking horrible nightmare, and you're like, okay, I know this is a dream. I just don't know what I can do now.
I've had like 2 of those dreams that I can recall. But as far as Ander is concerned, he, like you said, he blinks a few times, and there's probably like a momentary expression of fear that leads to panic before he seems to calm down. All within probably like 1 round, 6 seconds of just like.
Grommen puts his hand on your shoulder in the 6 seconds.
Yeah.
He's like, "You feel?"
I'm assuming I can hear that, or.
So it's everything outside of your immediate vision is very muted. You feel pressure on your shoulder, and you hear like a whispered sound off in the distance. But
Okay.
you're gonna have to roll me a perception check with disadvantage.
You feel? It's like all weird. No, I'm just-
Another natty 1. God.
You
Damn.
actually don't hear at all, like not even a noise. You just felt a little bit of pressure on your shoulder, but then when you like look back to see what it was, you realize that the corpse of the girl kind of slumped forward and is sitting on is sitting on you somewhat, and that's clearly where the pressure came from.
Yeah, and again, I know it's not. I know what this is, obviously, but still. So you just see, like, Ander kind of just pushes himself up off the chair, and just kind of keeps rubbing his eyes and keeps quietly just saying like no to himself, and he just starts.
Are you saying that out loud though? You're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
"No."
he's mumbling it to himself. Like,
It's a yes and no, Maggie. His actions that he does inside the dream are half represented in the real world.
So what do I see?
So when he's pushes himself up off the chair and says no, you kind of just see him like lean forward and just like slowly stand up off the chair, and he's just kind of like, his lips are moving, but he's not really speaking. He just seems like confused. Mind you, Grommen is also thinking through his own very intoxicated and drug-addled state. But Mike, I'm gonna let you do one more thing before I have Maggie chime in with what
Sure.
Gromit does. Go ahead.
No, he just starts making his way for the door. He starts trying to get the hell out.
Okay, so you just start
As
trying
much
to
as he
keep
knows
away
this
from
is
him.
all not real, he doesn't want to fucking see it. Because while that person may be all dead in different areas and they all may be dead for different reasons, and that doesn't mean that they won't die for those reasons at some point in the future, and I don't fucking want to see it.
Okay.
So he starts sleeping.
So you go to
See
start
how
to
anyone dies? He's like trying to like not.
He's trying to look over. He's trying to like
Yeah.
really try to tunnel vision
You
and
could
not
predict my death.
I
could
probably am
see
seeing your death
coming.
right now. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those things where Ander has been, and this is both for Maggie and viewers. Ander has suffered this affliction since he was very young. He saw his own parents die. He saw his neighbors die. He saw all this stuff so many times since he was very young, and because of that, he has grown somewhat callous to these things, in the sense that they don't like hurt him or affect him as much as it would most other people if they saw it. But beyond that, he also grows to just try to avoid it in its entirety, because it's like knowing causes knowing once you know the future, it immediately triggers a chain reaction of you having to decide, do I actively avoid changing the future or do I actively change the future?
Or
because there's no
or does like and then there's the also like for Ander, like psychologically, does me trying to stop their death cause their death? Like there's no, it's that paradox, and Ander fucking doesn't want to deal with it.
But you're intertwined with me and Rye.
Because I'm getting paid right now to do it. So yeah, no.
Okay,
so,
well,
so
I don't know that. So
no, yeah, no.
I mean, like as Gromit doesn't know it.
So Ander is trying to get the hell
is
out.
what's tying the top of the coin purse. So so Ander's approach to these type of situations is to like look over the scene and try to learn nothing, because if he doesn't know, he can just live his life the same way as everybody else doesn't know. And the reason why Ander gets so fucking shit bombed every day is because he's really trying not to see these things. He's trying to just live a normal life. But so you're trying to make your way across the room to see what's going on. I'm gonna have Gromit act in a second, but first, all of a sudden you bump into something, and it makes no sense because everybody's dead. But are they? Oh no, they're not. Everybody's dead, sure, but they're not just corpses lying there on the grounds. They're animated. They're actually up and moving and going through motions. Some of the motions they're going through is literally the last moments of their lives, how it is that they die.
Oh,
some of the motions that they're going through are so some of the motions they're going through is literally like a dance amongst the dead between a few of the other guys around. Yeah, it's some big sequence thriller scene. No, a dance of the dead that's going on around there. Some of them just kind of like haplessly moving about or standing still, slowly swaying back and forth, almost like they're caught in the fugue plane, and they're and they don't know where they are, what they're doing. So this is what you see when you kind of like blink because you bumped into something, and you notice all of this happening. And when you bumped into that thing, whatever it was upset that you bumped into it, because it kind of lets out like an angry growl, like, and smacks you in the side of your head. You kind of like, ugh. But you continue making your way towards the door. Before I go back to you, Mathis, Maggie, you see Ander push himself up as described before, and then start walking away, stumbling away, bumps into somebody, gets knocked in the side of the head by the person, like, stupid little fucking thing, and then tries to like move around, and move away. How does Gromit react?
Gromit is first going to like grab the barmaid's hand, because he's still like pretty high, I'm guessing. And he's going to be like, I shall return someday. And he like kisses her hand, and he gets up and he leaves and follows
Today's the day.
And he follows Anders, and he's gonna like punch the guy that hit Anders, unless I can stop the guy that punched Anders first.
No, you won't be able to stop it.
I'm gonna punch the guy who
athletics check
smacked
with
Anders.
normal roll.
Okay, what do I do?
Athletics.
Okay, athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Normal roll. Okay. 17.
You hit the guy. You hit him so hard. Where do you hit him? In the chest?
Just like wherever. Grauman's not paying 0% paying attention.
It's clobbering time. You hit him in the chest. He goes flying into a few other people. They get knocked backwards somewhat, not down, but backwards somewhat. He's like out cold, like maybe you broke a rib. He's just, and Grauman's able to kind of like keep moving on, trying to catch up to Ander. Ander scurrying away. Ander, you now are amongst these corpses and whatnot that are moving about the room with you. What do you do?
I'm still trying to get the hell out.
Sure. So, is your goal to like push through the crowd, or to make your way through the crowd? Like,
make my way, not necessarily push. I know I'm a gnome, so nimbly make my way through the crowd.
He's pushing his way through feet.
Yeah, more or less.
Maggie, kickbacks in the ream. That was chesty punchy.
Yeah, chesty punchy.
Yeah.
Chesty punchy.
Good old Warbow times.
Yeah, I miss Star Wars sometimes, actually.
Yeah,
So,
I really wanted to see where that went.
Yeah.
Rip.
Kind of funny, like no lie, just side thing. Somebody noticed me in real life for the first time ever the other day.
That's cool.
And they noticed me because they just bought Edge of Edge of the Empire, and they're a long-term follower of Mathis's. And so they were like, "Oh, how do I play this game?" Oh, I think I remember Mathis saying something about it. So they clicked on the stream that we did forever ago, the video we did forever ago, talking about how the rules work, and they were like, "I knew your voice sounded familiar. Your beard's shorter." So I was like, "Oh,
where did you see him?
It was at a mall. It was funny.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and
That's so random.
yeah.
Isn't that weird how like people find you randomly? It's like, what?
Oh yeah, my local Target, the two dudes who work at the game section know me. I try to avoid it.
Yeah. That's funny.
Hey.
So, but anyways, just because, Star Wars made me think of that. So going back, I miss Star Wars. So you are trying to like nimbly get your way through, Mathis. So you want to roll me an acrobatics check?
Yeah. Let's go. Acrobatics.
91.
Probably. Close enough.
Close enough.
Today's the day of like low rolls.
It is. It's
Just
bad.
try to get them out of the way, Anders. It's okay.
It's bad. I've been 3 1s so far for me alone.
Maggie, I assume you're not nimble. You're just kind of like shoving people to the side, so you can roll me an athletics.
Grauman is like, Grauman's too like out of it to really know what he's doing. I think it's probably the case. I don't know. You be the judge of that, but 18 athletics.
I was gonna say you don't even have to roll, because if you rolled a 1, you'd beat him on the roll. But anyway, so 18 athletics, you're easily able to push, like, so more or less he gets like a little bit further, and then there's like 2 people immediately like in front between you and him, and you just kind of like poof, get them out of the way, and there he is. Anders right there in front of you. What do you do?
I'm gonna pick Anders up.
Oh god.
So you go to pick him up, Ander. All of a sudden you feel pressure on the side of your arms, and you feel yourself getting lifted. When you turn back and you look, what you see there holding you is this large dark force. This dark force that has no shape, has no feeling to it. It's just this feeling of ominous, of ominous. I can't speak.
It's an
today.
ominous feeling, is what you're looking
Yeah,
for?
it's ominous. Yeah, I don't know why can't I not speak today? It's because of Tiefling conversation, where it's pronounced Tiefling. I was so tongue tied from Tiefling that I can't speak. So you have it's just like this ominous force that picks you up, and it doesn't have any, it's indiscriminate. It doesn't have any features or whatever that you're able to identify very easily, and it's picking you up. You're like looking behind you and seeing this, and it's very fucking scary. So imagine you're trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
Pose athletics, acrobatics, or unless you prefer athletics, but I assume you prefer acrobatics.
Me? Yeah, I prefer acrobatics.
Athletics, acrobatics, opposed.
17.
Not bad. Maggie crushes you.
Well, she rolls what? Athletics?
Yeah, she's going to.
Oh, I get to roll again?
Yes, because this is to pick him up.
18. Oh,
Yep.
1 up.
Yep. So he's struggling. He's like trying to get away or whatever. And he's actually pretty fucking squirmy. And you have to work hard.
I'm like,
you are able to hold on.
I
to
can
him.
barely concentrate. I'm like, stop moving.
Okay, so how do you react to this, Ander?
He's gonna.
Aside from squirming and not being able to get away.
Yeah, I mean that's all I can really do. there's not much I can do elsewhere. I also know that whatever this thing is just a person of some sort. Like, there's that logical disconnect where while what Ander is seeing, Ander also knows is not what's actually picking him up.
That's the weirdest part. Like, you actually know the difference. Gromit does not.
Right. So, like, it's interesting in that, like, if I really wanted to get away, I would just cast a spell. But I also, chances of it being Gromit are high. So I guess he just continues to squirm.
Okay, so he just continues to squirm. Gromit, squirminato. Ander.
Drink.
Yep. Okay. So what do you do?
I'm gonna just walk out with him.
Oh, she's taking me outside anyway. Sweet.
This force carries you out of the bar and across the world. You're traveling very, very rapidly. Like, you could feel the wind whipping across your face as you're traveling extreme distances very, very, very fast, going to where it is that you need to go. Eventually, you come out and you're placed down. Gromit, you put him down outside?
I don't know. I'm probably going to carry him for a while until we get past the gate.
Okay, well,
I'm just going to carry
travel
him.
for extreme distances at a nice fast rate. And then eventually, Gromit, you come up to a gate, you see this large gate, something between where you are and where it is that you're going. Perhaps the gate that crosses a line between life and death itself, answering some of the questions that you've always been too afraid to ask. You come to this gate and you want to get away from it. You don't want to go through that gate. Roll me an athletics versus acrobatics.
Nine.
Roll one, Maggie.
I need you to roll a 1. It's the only way is if you roll a 1.
No, 2 would tie it. Nope.
Okay.
So
14 to a 9.
You can't get away. Whatever this is, it's forcing you through that gate. You go walking through the gate, and there's a guard there that sees you holding the very struggling gnome. And he's like, "Hey, you there!" Pointing at you, Maggie. Apparently somebody else is saying,
my cat
"Hey,
is being
there."
crazy. What do you say?
So as you're walking through the gate, one of the guards is like, "Hey, you there!"
Gromit's like, points at himself like, what, me?
What's going on? He owe you money?
No, he very.
Doesn't look like your friend.
Ander, you friend.
What do I have? I don't even know if I hear you.
Roll me a perception check.
At disadvantage or?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't hear you. It's a
Okay.
4.
Maggie, he doesn't respond.
Gromit is going to take. I do know I have this on me. I'm pretty sure. Would a healing potion fix like drunkenness at all?
No,
No.
cure poison.
Right,
Okay.
restoration. Remember our friend Dave's old character? He was such a dick about that.
Yep.
You were playing Ander, you were drunk all the time, and his character had the ability to cast lesser restoration or as a paladin or whatever it was, like just cure poison
Mm-hmm.
feature. So he'd just be like, "Oh, you're drunk? I took your drunk away. Get over yourself." And you'd be like, "Oh, I just spent so much money to get drunk." And you'd be like, "Yep, but you're such a buzzkill." And you have to go spend like a bunch more money just to get drunk again. Moving on.
Yeah, I don't know what more I can do other than say that then at this point.
Okay, so you just say friend. He's like, this doesn't seem like he's your friend. You're going to have to either settle your dispute in the slums before you come over here, or...
Gromit's gonna like persuade them with intimidation. He's gonna be like, "He, my friend, is drunk and I'm taking him back home."
You try to intimidate these guards. Roll me a disadvantage.
Like persuasion. He's trying to persuade them, not really intimidate them.
Intimidate or persuade?
Persuade, yeah.
Still disadvantage.
Damn it. I think I have a thing with disadvantage. But maybe it's only in combat.
Combat.
What?
You don't, not for this.
Okay, fine. All right.
Maggie's like, I can't find the persuasion button. That's not something. Oh, actually, it's not terrible. Like, no, he's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's like, he actually, like, however you say
Well,
it.
I didn't say he's my friend. I said he's my friend, and I was like, he's drunk. I'm trying to take him back home.
So, like, the way you said it, like, I'm just trying to take him back home. Like, he's my friend, and maybe even mention the name of the tavern that the inn that you're going to, or whatever. He actually, I guess he's like, oh, he is your friend. Okay. Sorry. Thanks for, keeping him out of trouble. Move along, and hey, you tell your friend if he's gonna get that drunk to stay in there, okay?
Do I remember what the thing was called that I drank?
Nope.
Oh, they didn't tell me, right? Okay.
Okay. And so he actually let you by with your 14 persuasion, despite this advantage from being Grommen. So, as Grommen has actually decent persuasion because of his charming innocence. You know what I mean?
I put extra points in persuasion because I like to imagine that he can persuade them with, like, he's kind of a scary dude. Like, kind of intimidation persuasion, but still, like, that's why I put points in that extra.
See, I always see him as, what was it, Green Mile, the character, where he was, like, super large and intimidating. But yeah, he was just such, like, a nice, cuddly person. He's like, yeah, I know I get, like, the ability to cause, like, death to everybody around me, but I just want to cuddle a teddy bear, man. Like, was that Green Mile?
Someone want to cause death. It's okay.
It wasn't Vin Rames. It was, what the hell's his name that died?
He's too stupid to
Michael Duncan Clark. Michael Duncan Clark. What's his name? Michael Duncan Clark.
Every time I try to be dishonest, it's like the worst situation ever. I'm like, I don't know. Everyone's like, fucking A. I get us into the weirdest situations because of that, but I'm just saying that's what my character would do.
So,
do I finally get him back to the tavern?
You eventually are able to bring him all the way back to the tavern. Now, Otto, and
drink.
Oh God, Scott! I get it. You want Bear back? I get it.
I do miss Bear.
Bear and I would probably not have had this situation. We probably both would have taken some girls home. Just saying.
Yep, you're gonna learn that real quick. Andrew is not the same kind of drinking buddy at all.
So as you're being brought back over there, traveling these incredible distances, the air is getting colder, like considerably colder. The smell of the air has changed too. It's a combination of fresh snow and death. It's a very straight. Wait. You can also smell that scent that's left behind when powerful, very powerful evocation magics are let off. And as you're being carried through the skies and whatnot to where it is that you're landing, eventually, Grommen, you bring him up to the room, you put him down on the floor in the room. You land your feet in a fresh and freshly fallen snow. All around you are a whole bunch of corpses. You look around you, and just the sheer number of dead orcs is insane. On this mountainside, there's so many corpses of orcs all around you.
Dead orcs.
But more than that, off in the distance, you see explosions of fire. Now, I say off in the distance, now I mean like a couple miles away. Explosions of fire, explosions of like green lights, bursts of lightning, huge clouds raining down lightning bolts in the area. Something's happening off in the distance. Some great war is happening off in the distance, whatever it is. But also, what you see there, kind of like just barely stirring and coming to, is a young, looks kind of like an orc. I don't know, it's really hard to tell. This orc has a seriously disfigured face. The front of their face is completely blasted open. There's so much blood all around them. By all accounts, as far as Andrew could tell, this orc should be dead. And if he's seeing it, this orc must be dying. That could be the only reason why this orc is here. Andrew sees death. And so he's sitting here watching somebody that that is about to die, or there's something that's about to die. And so this orc is kind of barely stirring, bleeding out, when all of a sudden, despite its twitches and its movements and whatnot, it falls completely still. Before we go any further, Maggie, Grauman put Andrew down, and he's just kind of like whipping around and looking and trying to take in his surroundings.
Grauman's like putting a blanket over him and fluffing a pillow and putting it behind him. And meanwhile, like, Anders is seeing like this horrific scene, and Grauman's just like.
And Andrew's eyes are like half clouded over too, like they're all fucked up looking.
So you're turned sideways. Like it's this, you're standing on your feet, but every part of your body feels what's the word?
Grauman feels like a ballet dancer. He's like
sideways. So you as you're like watching this, as you're seeing this happening, you see other forms starting to kind of like come into your view, almost like nothing was there, and then growing together, clouds of smoke forms. You can't really make out their shapes or who they are, but you can't like the finite details. You can't see, at least immediately, but you can definitely smell that smell of powerful evocation magic in the air, and you can see the person who it was that had released it. You can see the man standing there with his staff in his hands, but more than that, you can see another with a lute in one hand and sheathing a sword in the other, making his way quickly over to the young orc that you just saw fall motionless, and throws down a knee in front of him and looks down at the orc and starts saying something. Roll me a perception check. Disadvantage.
Disadvantage? Yeah, of course. So I won't see it. Another natural one. I'm sick. I'm done with natty ones. Good God.
Like
why? Why?
So bad. He's saying something. He's saying something over the body, and he's like looking around, and he looks like he's trying to plead to the others that are there, but at least one of them, the one who clearly casts a spell, doesn't seem interested in the least bit of what happens. Another one does finally make their way over and places a hand on the person on their knee's shoulder and has a conversation with them. You can't make out what it is that they're saying, but clearly they're saying something. Almost looks like it could be condolences or sorrow is the emotion that's being spread there. Eventually gives like a tight grip on the shoulder, and he turns and he walks away. The man giving the grip, the man holding the other one, being a man covered in just gorgeous looking armor. I mean, this armor is just beautiful. He's got a shield with some symbol emblazoned upon it. You can't quite tell what it is. And he kind of like walks off, staring off at whatever's happening off to the side. Whatever's happening down the mountain and off into the distance, and hollers out something that's not definable, and starts like charging down forward, and all the others rushing forward. All the others save one, still on his knee, still over the body of the boy, looking up to see their friends running off, looking around at the carnage around him. You see a single teardrop falls from their cheek onto the motionless body, the motionless orc on the ground.
Don't you fucking dare, Dowrick. Don't you dare.
And then he stands up and he holds that lute firmly in one of his hands, and he starts to play it. And he starts to play the lute. You're not familiar with this lute. You've seen lutes played before, but this is a very unique type of lute that's being played. And he's playing it in a very unique way. And the way he's doing it, the way he's playing this thing and whatnot, the way he's ripping through these chords, all of a sudden you can feel the pulsing magics rushing through you. You're rushing through the whole area. And then out of nowhere, you see the orc on the ground just kind of like, and takes its first breath, breathing forward. Immediately afterwards, like the music stops. It comes like a halt. It's not like a screeching stop. It just stops instantly. He drops down to his knee, placing a finger over the bleeding wound on the forehead, strikes one more chord, and you see the wounds close enough that the bleeding is stemmed. And then quickly stands up and takes a step over the body and starts running down the field to rejoin their friends for what's going on down below. And slowly coming to, a completely disoriented and confused looking, very young looking orc, very green in color, orc, is lying there, coming to and just like taking in the carnage that's all around. when all that's said and done, when everything's just beyond the point where you're like, you don't even know what's happening. You just like, you literally start. Roll me a Constitution save with disadvantage. Got to keep doing it to you.
No. I'll just take a 14 with my portent roll. So that gives me a +2. So 16.
You hold down your vomit to the best of your ability, literally choking it down as you kind of like blink, and the milkiness in your eyes, the glossed overness in your eyes that was concerning Grommen as he was like tucking you in and making sure you're good.
Grommen sees like he looks like he's like gonna vomit, so Grommen like brings over a bucket and puts next to him.
Grommen comes over, back over the bucket.
He's
and puts
like,
it next
"You
to him.
barf here if you know."
That is literally what you come to this world to. Grommen giving you the advice to barf here. Grommen to warn that to you. And you're just so disoriented. You're so out there. But despite that fact,
Dude,
that
anybody who
wound-
doesn't watch this episode is like missing out on a fucking shit ton of lore drops. You just fucking drop like a bunch of. I love how people in chat think it's about thonk too. It's great.
No, it's not.
you
Thonk at all.
see
It's clearly not about thonk.
scar across Grommen's face that matches perfectly that of the young boy that you just saw die. And you don't vomit in the bucket. Drive heave. You don't vomit. You know
And
what?
then he puts the bucket back down.
With that, why don't we take one more break?
Do you want to continue, or do you want to leave it there?
God.
Ooh.
I feel like you leave it there. You leave it at like the it's a kind of a cool cliffhanger, but you leave it at the moment where you see Ander kind of like as he's about to dry heave, you just see him reach up and like kind of
Everyone's like, no.
he traces like the scar on Grommen's face before he
you touch my face.
Yeah, he just gently traces the scar on your face before he passes out.
So
Oh, that's so good.
Oh god, this riot, this rioting.
This is week 34.5. Let them riot.
You know what? We do have that other option.
This is a full 35. You just left like a shit ton of lore right there for people. Like anybody who wants to know more about Grommen's lore, like you just laid out like a story. Although if people watch the prologue of Grommen, I legit almost cried at the end of that. That was like intense.
So one of the other things that Mathis and I had talked about forever ago was
well, Mathis knows what the dudes look like. I don't know what they look like. Oh shit.
Maggie. He doesn't have super finite details, but he has a lot more detail than Grommen does. So so anyways, one of the things that Mathis and I talked about forever ago was we want to come up with a side adventure that we do when this show can't happen because randomly people can't show up and we don't have a side story that we can work with, whoever the case may be.
It should be an evil side story. We should make evil characters that fuck with the world that we're actually in. That'd be so awesome.
Maggie's throwing it out there for us to keep playing in Faerun, but just do completely fucked up evil characters. And so one of the things that we want to do is during one of the times that we just can't just stream making characters. I don't think we have enough time between now and when we would usually finish to stream making characters. But I do like the idea of discussing concept of the characters that we do. So why don't we take a little break, and when we come back, we'll discuss that idea, that concept. It'll probably only end up being 15 to 20 minutes more. And then when that, as that kind of like tickers off, then we'll call it a night. So we'll just discuss a little bit more after this, okay?
Sounds good. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere.
Toodles.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the last little bit where we just kind of shoot the shit a bit before we call it a night. So, okay, what's up?
Hey, so the idea is that when we can't play the normal game, we don't have a little side thing that we're going to work on like this, which is super important. I'm glad we did it. Is that we will play a different side game that has to, that will have to be like an ongoing thing as a side game ongoing. And we could actually play theoretically in the same world, both on Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays as well, depending, So we'll worry about those details moving forward. So somebody in chat, I think it was, suggested an evil campaign. No, Maggie suggested an evil campaign. That's right. And that's actually really funny. Like just an all evil party or an evil
interesting
party.
to have like a like play the other side of it, like, right? Like our characters are mostly good, I would say. I mean, Thonk was on the other side, but I think in general we swayed him to do good things. Although he kind of
swayed you to do the bad things.
Yeah, like I think that it'd be interesting, like, because I know that I feel like that's where Rye is taking things, is very like a good route, right? Like she's trying to, or maybe we're the evil party and the other party's the good party.
There's no way we're an evil party.
It's like, this
party
edge of morality thing that we have going on, right? Like the whole point
is supposed to be the light side. Even
what
if
is the dark, what is the light? What do you construe as good? In Emmy's words from our last campaign, sometimes you got to do good things to make, or sometimes you got to do bad things to make good things happen.
And that's the way that this show is at least supposed to be perceived to a degree, is that you guys are the good guys, you're the heroes, right? Whether or not you are actually the heroes or the villains, only time will tell. But that's at least the outer shell of it, right? So Maggie is suggesting, fuck this evil campaign, without being obnoxious, like without being chaotic.
Yeah, not obnoxious, but I think it'd be fun to play some evil characters. I've played like one campaign that was like that, but I think it's hard to do it.
I know people in chat say like
suggested Zents. Mike, you know this entire army. You know this entire army.
I do.
Yeah, boy.
I know like some people in chat are like, man, evil campaigns are hard to pull off. I disagree. The problem with a lot of D&D players is like their idea of evil is murder hobos that just run around and kill things.
Hold on. You're telling me that Sam can't pull off a really sinister evil character?
No, hold up.
Sam could actually pull off a really
who's done it for 33 episodes or whatever it was, and you think Maggie can't come up with some incredibly conniving shit without just going around and murdering babies?
I honestly got
I've played evil characters without like murdering people. Like, well,
no, I think evil campaigns are just as interesting and just as easy to play. You just don't play. You play evil, a smart evil. You just play an intelligent evil. That's all. You don't play the serial killer who live. Yeah, don't play a serial killer.
Evil where you mess with two different people, two different groups of people, and you make them fight. You don't even have to do anything.
Yeah,
it can be a diplomatic thing. Like there's so many ways to play evil that you.
There's a way to play. There's a way to play evil where like your character's end goal is actually world peace. But he does it in a ruthless way.
Our buddy Nick did that with his worshiping of Lady Arraville Dark Eyes. He actually created a country never mind the huge story, but he created an entire country that was forced to worship her. It was a lawful evil country, but every single solitary race was 100% accepted there. Every race, gender, sexual orientation, age, everything was all 100% completely equal in this world. However, you had to worship the god, and anybody who broke any laws were killed on sight.
People want Darth Grumman.
Killed on sight.
So, Doc was working on Darth Grumman, but just Grumman wasn't smart enough to be a Darth of any sort.
Darth Grumman? Oh, Thonk was working on a Darth Grumman?
Yeah, like, well, that was initially, and then realized it wasn't working.
There were a couple moments where you could have totally made him that way, which was really funny because, like, you just rolled shitty, and I just rolled really well, and it was, like, on weird shit that was, like, you wouldn't expect Grumman to do well and you to do bad on, but it ended up that way. Because, like, I was saying the whole time, like, when Scott and I were talking about it, we're like, Grumman can go either way. Like, he's so easily manipulated that, like, if Thonk was able to get him to do what he wanted, he would have been like
the thing with Thonk, and it's something that I want to play a little bit more with Ander, is like Thonk was very direct, and he wasn't a man to mince to play with words or be like, you know, move things in a more malleable way.
It's like
Ander,
Gromit. Gromit just like does stuff, and that's why sometimes we get into weird situations.
yeah, but Ander is more of a wordy character, so I think if he wanted to get people to do dumb, mean things, he could do it. And he already messed around a little bit in today's episode, just playing devil's advocate the entire episode with the kid and the guard, and all he did was use his words. He didn't do anything. He just used his words. So,
He was saying Comcast.
I followed along with it.
Are we having Comcast issues or no, Mathis?
it dropped 480 frames. It seems to have stabilized though.
Okay, yeah, because 480 is not a lot.
No, it just dropped more.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it's over time.
I'm gonna keep an eye out, and we just dropped more. Yeah, Comcast.
That's okay. We're just talking now, anyways. We're fine with that as it is. So the idea is that we'll play in this world. We'll play in Faerun, and we'll play as evil characters, right? Or at least not good-seeming characters. That's fine. So a couple of the details to go over. One, do we want them anywhere near where the party is traveling around and get another view of the current areas, or fluff that noise? Let's go somewhere else entirely different.
Oh man, kind of wanted to be somewhere else, but I don't know what your thought is, Mathis.
You want to be somewhere else? As in, say that again. Sorry, repeat that because I was talking to chat.
I kind of think it'd be cool to be in another area in the world, just because
that's I don't care where we are in the world.
Because then when we reach and like when we get to those parts or like how we've affected it, I think it could alter stuff.
I have an idea. You could either do somewhere you've never been before so far in the 35 episodes of the show so far, or we can actually have the campaign take place in Thesk. Because in my head, I know what's going on in Thesk because of Grommen's actions prior to leaving. Sorry, Thonk's actions prior to leaving. However, nobody else has seen what's going on in Scott's head as the calendar rolls on over there. It might be interesting to have your characters in Thesk handling that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing that at all.
In which case, what faction would you guys all be a part of the same faction? Or would you just be mercenaries that get hired by somebody? Would you want to be a part of the Telfamar Shadow Lords? Would you want to be a part of that huge growing group of evil orcs that were in that mountain-esque temple? Would you want to be a different group of evil people that just happen to like meander their way in? Like,
you know, something we haven't gotten to explore a lot is like the Shadow Thieves stuff. Like we touched on it a little bit, and we even like that one son of that one king, right?
Yeah.
We fucked them up. Like it'd be cool to like get deeper into that lore.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
So instead of the Shadow Thieves, which is the Shadow Thieves of Am is over here on the West Coast, you just heard of them for the first time, I think this stream or last stream. You're talking about the Telfamar Shadow Lords.
Oh yeah.
Those are the people that, if you remember Ashram, those are the people that fucked over Ashram's family and they owe like effectively endless money to. And so those are the people that he was trying to get you to assist him in overthrowing. You guys went sideways with it. Mm-hmm. And then with a power vacuum, Falk was trying to do his whatever. So Maggie, do you want to do that with the Telfamar Shadow Lords?
It'd be interesting. I don't know if I want to do that. I think it's going to have to be like a mutual thing, but I think it'd be an interesting aspect to explore at least.
No. That's a good thing. If the three of us make a decision, that's already 3 votes. We take the majority, right? Yay, democracy. So I like the idea of doing that. Doesn't mean you have to be a Telfamar Shadow Lord or amongst the Telflam Shadow people yourself, but at least being there, because with Thonk dead, assuming
Thonk never comes back. What level are we going to start at? Because can we be like higher level?
Also, yes. If Thonk does come back, say goodbye to Ander, because I will just put Thonk back.
Are you dead? Oh shit! Like
no, Ander wouldn't die. I wouldn't say he'd kill Ander. I would say like depending on when it happens, Ander would have to just find a natural. Because I'm just telling you right now, I would play Thonk over Ander in this part.
Who's that for, Leone or
I really like Thonk.
You guys are talking about doing like a whole bunch of different one shots in an ongoing world thingy. Yes and no. I actually currently do that over on my channel on twitch.tv/DerekMaster, where when my typical Friday show or a Wednesday show, whatever, can't play, the remaining PCs can play in my worlds that I've created. It we call it Adventure Camp, and it's literally like you guys are.
Where's Gadira's invite, ma'am?
Well, you're more than welcome to join. As always, Maggie, not on Wednesdays because you work, but on Friday evenings, you're welcome to join.
Oh, yeah. Friday evenings. I thought that's what you're talking about.
Yep. And we do that same exact thing over there where it's a whole bunch of different one-shots that fill those gaps. Here, we're trying to do more like an ongoing arc with big gaps between each session, or maybe even scheduled gaps, scheduled times to it. Who knows? We'll worry about that in the future. But as opposed to that, I want something different from that. So, Maggie, what level? Not level 1. Do we want to everybody the same level?
I feel like we should be like level 10.
See, it's funny. You like level 10. Level 10 is your
I
favorite.
love level 10 because I feel like you can multi-class. You can like do so many cool things. Like you can start off with a backstory. I feel like when you start at like a super low level or level 1, like you can have a backstory, but it's not a backstory. Whereas like when you come in at like level 10, you have abilities, you have seasoned experience, you have like all these things that you've gone through and you've experienced.
That's how I feel for 5e level 7.
Oh, okay. I can
see
see level 7 working too.
So many classes get an amazing.
But then I feel like you can't multi-class at level 7. I feel like you're stuck with just like one class.
You can, because you could have gotten your first 4 levels feat or ability mod, and then gone 3 levels of something else, or you could do the 1-2 dip or whatever you want.
I feel like you wouldn't do that though, because you get lots of cool stuff.
It's your choice for how you build your build, right? But I'm thinking level 7, or I'm thinking everybody roll. You know what I mean? Like a 5 plus 1d4 sort of thing. So you're not necessarily the same level. It's would you guys want to be the same level or roll?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. That doesn't matter to me, honestly. Like, especially since it's gonna be a side thing that happens infrequently. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, the nice thing about the side thing is you can just like throw us into a new situation. Like it doesn't have to be a continuing story.
Well, it'll be a continuing story, but there will be gaps of time of actual time that happen there, and you'll get the information. It'll all have context, especially if you're somebody that's been a viewer from the beginning. It'll have context, and if not, you'll pick up the context as we go. So, all right, cool. So,
if we were like some kind of mercenary crew, it'd probably be a lot easier to tie us into all kinds of things.
Yeah. All right, cool. I like the idea of where this is going.
Lich.
How are you gonna make a lich?
Or somebody who wants to become a lich.
Oh, a necromancer. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
There you go.
So necromancer through the path.
I was thinking about doing some kind of caster too.
Like evil cleric, Mike, or like wizard with the necromancy school. Or...
Oh, I don't know yet. I have no idea. But
man,
Chad has been yelling lich, and I like the idea of trying to play somebody who's eventually aiming to be a lich.
I mean, that's a fun concept. I really wish there were better options in 5e, but right now it's literally evil cleric and wizard. That's nothing else. I mean, you could. I'm a sorcerer who focuses on lechery. No, it's lechery, buddy. You're weird. Maggie, what about you? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I was thinking about. I don't know. Part of me wants to do like some kind of thievery type of class.
Wild magic.
Yeah, I'm not touching.
Magic.
I'm not. I'm never touching wild magic for a long time.
And no dragonborn.
What? Oh yeah, people are spamming.
Can I be a dragonborn wild mage?
Yes,
that is also trying to become a lich.
Mathis, when you get your invite on Critical Role, or when you get your invite, on Critical Role, sorry, you can play your dragonborn wild mage. But until then, no.
All right,
okay?
I'll reach out to my contacts.
Yeah. Be like,
part of me wants to be like a tiefling.
Mr. Mercer, my DM won't let me play one. Can you invite me just so I can play one?
I'll think on character concepts. I like the idea of like somebody eventually wanting to become a lich over time, but I will have to think.
Just so you know, sorry, Mike, I'm interrupting you. Just so you know, you don't have to be the caster to become a lich. It's easier if you're the one doing the research, right?
Right.
But technically speaking, anybody can become a lich. Very Abby normal. Yeah. So
I'll think on it. I like the idea. I like Maggie's idea though. I like the idea of playing like this evil people in another part of the same world that we've got going on. That would be cool.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So that's the idea. We're not doing the character gen right now. That was like, I suppose.
Especially with Comcast being a shithole.
Yeah. Well, Comcast is dicks. But. What was I going to say? So yeah, we will schedule a time in the near future for us to gen this. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm curious what Sam would want to do. I'm curious what Sam would want to play as his.
Yeah, we definitely have to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh well. Anyways.
Man, I don't know.
Any other details? Any other details we should go over? So last, I guess not last thing, but level 7 or 1d4 plus 5?
1d4 plus 5 for fun, I guess.
1d4 plus 5. Oh man, you have the
Because the
ability to
lowest
start
you
with
could get is
6th level
6.
spells. Yeah, which you still have 3rd level spells.
All right, roll it right now.
You want to roll it now?
Yeah, just find out what level we're gonna be. Who cares?
Uh-oh.
Just roll your 1d4, Maggie.
Make sure
Go
you're
ahead.
showing it on the overlay.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll 1d4 plus 5.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't like
I rolled
this.
so many ones today. I'm just expecting to be level 5.
Okay, go.
I'm 8.
Oh,
Hey!
fuck.
Nice, not bad, Mike. You have to start off with 4th level spells was the original, anyways. If you go
I'm
cast
always the butt of the joke. Always.
that's
It's okay.
fine.
I like playing the humor character. We'll see.
Well, you can make a really powerful 6th level character too. You know what I mean?
I'll always be underpowered compared to them, and they'll always make fun of me.
That's not
We're
true.
an evil party, so.
That's not true. You just stab the most powerful one in the back, and you win.
Do I absorb their powers like in Vampire the Requiem?
But you know what I'd probably end up doing is I'll probably just end up leveling you up to them eventually, anyways. You know what I mean? Just not at first.
I feel like if you're there most often, like if you're there for the encounters, although there are times when I'm not here, so I don't deserve experience. I understand.
I think Maggie has been the most reliable member on Lost Initiative, including Mathis and myself.
I 100% agree.
like literally there are times where I'm like, guys, I'm stuck in Maine, I can't make it. And Maggie's like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been sitting at my computer waiting to press play. What are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, I'm stuck in Maine.
I'm an addict. Don't judge me.
Yeah, no, most reliable member of Lost Initiative, no question.
Oh, they're like, you'll have to make up with it with your awesome RP skills. I'll think of something cool.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really fun to
Maggie,
explain evil.
I'll give you extra magic items.
Ooh, I like that. I
There
can
you
come
go.
up with some primo lore reasons why I deserve some magic items. Dude, I'm
Do we
loving that
roll
some
for-
of Grauman's like lore is coming out too, because like
Oh,
I feel like obviously I've been put on. I told Dalric too. I was like, you know what, like my lore is meant for endgame. Like that's the point of it. Like if you guys watch the prologue for Grauman, it's kind of meant for that because I shouldn't be more powerful on that spectrum of things, like because the magic damage that happened to him. But I just feel like it's going to be really interesting when we get to that point down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that come out.
I legit was tearing up when Otto left though.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else did. I was like, I don't know if people could tell because I had a shitty ass webcam.
I just love Bear. You know what I mean? Bear's just a good person.
Yeah,
I
Bear's a
do,
good
but
fella.
also like we played for so long together, and like I was like,
Yep.
oh man, I didn't realize how like emotional Gromit like I was gonna get in that situation. Like I don't know if people could tell when I was talking, but I was like I was tearing up.
We had a couple of rough episodes back to back, man. Thonk dies,
Yeah,
followed
and
by
then
Otto
everyone was
leaving.
like, "Oh, they sound so sad." I saw like comments about it. I was like, "Cause we're fucking sad, dude."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you feel it's sad because the whole point is that we're all like, even though we were continuing on, and yeah, you're gonna have moments in games where like, especially when they're so driven by emotion and story.
That's the best part of D&D, man.
Yeah, like that's gonna happen.
I've had many games where people have cried. That's how you
Hey,
know the
personally-
game is good.
So out of character, I'm pretty good at like keeping in character stuff versus out of character stuff. I don't know if you're willing to say this, Dalric, or not. But is the bard that was in there, was that Otto?
Oh, I can tell you flat out, no.
Okay.
That was not Otto.
No,
No.
the only thing
I
that
didn't
I
think
pulled
so.
from that there might be a connection is the DOS loot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That
I
was
like,
the connection I
why
pulled.
is that person
I was like, if
so
Otto
sad?
was there, I would have been like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I was like, Otto wasn't. I was like, that's why I was like, what? Did he like go back in time?
It
Like,
could
I'm
be
so
Otto.
confused.
And
'Cause there
Otto's-
are time portal type. There are like time things. Like you can go back in time. That's why I was like,
I have a
what?
whole
in
character
Fate Room,
dedicated.
There's literally one way to travel through time. There's one gate to travel through time, and there's so many safeguards to stop you being able to get through it. It's Mistra's blah or Mistara's blah blah. Because the original goddess of magic was Mistral, and then it became Mistara, then it became Mistra, and now it's Midnight, but she pretends to be Mistra. Anyways, I think it was Mistara's something is the I can't think of the name off the top of my head, is the only time portal in all of Faerun. Unless you incorporate the 3.0, 3.5 psionic magics, which allow tons of time shit. But yeah, that's usually time is manipulation's not a big thing.
I was gonna say I actually have a whole character in Eberron base that's psionic, that's based around time travel. And do you remember that character?
Eberron, yes. You're asking me?
Well, I don't know if you remember because I never played it for like 2 sessions before we did a different campaign altogether.
Okay, wait. All right, I thought you were talking about something else. I'm sorry. Remind me so I can
remember.
So
this character was the idea behind him was that he was gonna be a psionic who basically was with the party from day one, who eventually over the course of time falls in love with this woman and
I remember it.
Yeah,
and he actually came from across the seas too.
Yeah,
he wasn't originally from here.
So, just for the chat. So this idea was like he through the story arc, two main things happen.
This is like a War Stories freebie. Ooh.
Yeah, for now. So he falls because this is not a character I never ever played.
Yeah.
So he falls. His whole story arc was that he was going to fall in love with this woman. And throughout the entire campaign, there's this person who is just following them and shadowing them, and they can never get his hands on this person. They can never, the person never directly confronts them, but they always get glimpses of him. He's always there. But my character eventually falls in love with this woman, and at some point in the story, the woman dies. This tragic death, and it sets my character off. And he, loses control of his psionic powers, and, rifts start opening, and he disappears in time. And he completely disappears. And then that person who's been following them eventually walks up around that time, and it's a very old version of that character who's been shadowing him. And what happens in that very split moment is that his psychic powers...
Think, because this was back when Bethesda came out with one of the Fallouts. Think Wandering Stranger.
I guess, yeah, kind of. Yeah.
That was how he's been following him for a long time, lending aid here and there. Literally, we described it at the time as Think Wandering Stranger from
Fallout 3, basically. But so at that moment where his powers go crazy and he disappears, basically what he ended up doing is accidentally shoving himself through time. So this older version of him is him after he got shoved way back into the past, lived years of his life before that party ever came together, and then followed that party for however long they were together until that moment where his love died, because he was looking for a way to save the love of his life.
Oh man, so he's trying to get this party to actually help him save his love.
But at some point
that's crazy.
Yeah.
See, when you make characters, you think almost as ahead as me. How much I thought about Grauman's background story. I'm glad that because some this is actually the first time I've ever played with you, right, Scott? This campaign.
We literally met during the character generation.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but I ended up loving it because you really you take the character, you're a lot like me in the sense of I really don't want to create personally I'll create some of the world and some of the story and what I'm thinking as a DM, but I really want I want everyone to make their stories first.
Yeah.
I'm hey, you name stuff. If you have a name you want to name, you name places in the world. You name shit that you want. Make your world that you're thinking in your head, and then I'll make the world around it so that you all fit together. I think that's the best way, in my opinion, just because I love when people feel intertwined with the world, and then when you are in the world and you're experiencing it, or even this moment where I'm not even experiencing it. This is fucking Anders experiencing shit. And I'm holy shit. I'm behind the scenes going, oh my God, this is about my character. As long as you can differentiate, Grauman knows jack shit about this. He does not know anything. Everyone else has found out shit about him and he doesn't know anything. And I think that's, to me, really cool. And then as you guys, as viewers, hopefully you get to be the inside of everybody's heads, which I love because everyone gets so meta about it. They're why didn't you do this? And why didn't you do that? And the fact that we can interact with other people and explain hey, this is what my character was thinking. I think that's so, I don't know. It's so cool to me.
Yeah. I love it a lot.
It's a different type of experience than just playing with a bunch of friends at home.
It's true. That was that character that I just kind of gave a quick thing. I never played him. I like his idea. And the reason he was going to be so old is because basically what he wanted to do was save her from dying, and he tried to save her from dying many times, and every time he failed, he would just send himself back in time and do it again and again and again and again until he realized that he couldn't save her. So it was at the time where he realized he couldn't save her, he would walk up and just join the party as like 30 years or 40 years older than the rest of the party and be like, I have to talk to you guys, and just be like,
damn. So he like realized he couldn't.
Because he tried. So like, yeah, when he sends himself back in time the first time accidentally, he tries, and when he doesn't succeed, he'll willingly send himself back again and try again. So he spends years of his life just repeating these X number of years trying to save the love of his life.
Wow, that would be crazy. Like repeating the same situation over and over and trying to save the love of your life.
Maggie,
so sad.
Time stuff, I usually don't do it in Faerun because of the lockout that happened. There's a lot of certain types of magics that were locked out years ago, built into the lore of Faerun because of the Netherese, the bullshit that they did. Mike, we had a whole character based off of that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that when Mistral died, in her death and the formation of Mystara, it reforms the weave in such a way. And the way that Mystara died and formed Mystra, it once again reforms the weave in such a way to stop certain types of magic from happening, to protect humanity and the fabrics of reality. Because even though Mistral was the third god ever created in Faerun, she was by far the most powerful goddess ever created in Faerun. So she was always trying to protect the mortals because she usually leans good. I think she's neutral good right now in Midnight Mistral neutral good. Anyways, usually if I'm doing time traveling stuff, I do it in Eberron. One of my favorite ones that I did was my very, very, very old campaign that Mike was not a part of. I think he was a part of a little gaps, but in general, he was not a part of. And that ran on for many years. I've told you tidbits before, but they eventually came across an ancient giant city lost in the rainforests of Zendrick in Eberron. And they came across a city, and the city itself was a schema specifically for time manipulation. And the way that it works, because it was giant magic, is based off sacrifice and who cares? Like most of my time travel stuff takes place outside of Faerun because of the lockdown that they have here. So anyways, and Breland, I wasn't referring to Ao. Ao is not a god. He's an overdeity. He is put here as the overseer of the realm. The first god, I believe, was Selune, followed by Shar, or either the two of them were formed at the same exact time. And then their clashing of battles is what created their daughter or sister, Mistral. So Selune and Shar are the original gods or goddesses that exist in Faerun, and the two of them still exist. They're actually still in their original form that they were created in at the beginning of Faerun ancient history. So Ao doesn't count. He's an overdeity. He just watches over the crystal sphere.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Any other classes that you would allow outside of like the main player handbook? Or are you trying to keep everything to be like?
Ander is a mystic. So yes, I would. If you're talking about third-party material, not UA material, you would have to send it to me in advance, and I'd have to read it to decide if it's complete shit. And if it's complete shit, then you're welcome to use it anyways. It's your problem. Or if it's really overpowered. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, I'd be fine with you like rebalancing something to fit whatever world you want. Like if I just have like an idea for a character. Okay.
Listen, I saw Mike Morelsa tweeted out recently. I was on vacation and think I created everything I need to do a Dark Sun campaign. I think I creamed my pants. I was like, what? I tried doing that with my buddy Ollie. We were working on that for so long, but you just can't do Thri-Kreen without level mods. You can't do it. You can try, but you can't do it. I was like, I want Dark Sun. Dark Sun, please, for me now. Yes. And not the Age of Heroes Dark Sun garbage. I mean like earlier Dark Sun where it was like gritty. So, are you familiar with Dark Sun, Maggie? Or
I know a bit, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like Dune meets awful.
Yeah.
So I have to, because before we wrap this up, because the Thursday curse has to happen in some way.
Hold on. Before you say that, let me ask: are we rolling for stats or point buying?
I prefer point buy
levels.
always.
It almost feels like we should roll for stats too.
Well, we can roll for stats, then that's fine. I'm fine either one.
I'm fine with rolling. I mean, that's how we got Grommen.
That is. We ended up modifying a little bit later on.
We got Grommen that way, and then Delric was like, well, I'll let you re-roll like two re-rolls. And I re-rolled and he's like, oh my God, that's even worse. And he's like, I can't let you have that. And I was like, well, it's okay. I just have a -2 to one of my stats. It's okay. He's like,
I allowed your strength to be higher than it was supposed to be and your intelligence to be lower than it was supposed to be. You were good. It was good. And it's made a great character. Mathis, you were giving us terrible news.
Yes, I hate saying it. I hate saying it's terrible news.
Mathis,
wait, I thought it wasn't terrible news. I thought you were still doing something.
We are. Well, we're still doing something.
Okay.
But guess what was just announced to happen on Thursday nights?
Oh no.
So Critical Role, while their main campaign is gone, they're doing something on Thursday nights now.
Yeah.
Vampire, White Wolf.
No! Wait, are they seriously doing Vampire the Requiem or Vampire the Masquerade?
World of Darkness Vampire is all we know. It's called Thursday by Night.
No! Oh my God.
A beast I am, lest a beast I become.
Really?
Yep!
No!
That's like our best show too. Like, people love that.
I know, people love that show. I mean, we're gonna keep playing it. There's nothing. I'm not gonna stop it.
Well, we're gonna switch over to something else after.
I'm free Wednesday nights. I'm just kidding. No, I honestly, actually, I watch all the Critical Role. Like, hard shout outs to them too. So I mean, I think a lot of us watch a lot of the other role play stuff too because we're big fans. So I mean, no hard feelings in that sense. But it's like, seriously.
No, we want them to succeed in every way possible. For me, as a nerdy young kid that started rolling dice at 6, you know what I mean? That I am very happy that this has become a big thing, and Critical Role has played they played a critical role in that, huh? Oh.
I mean, they're a big reason that the door is even open for us to do this in a way. You know what I mean? So.
It's just rough that it's literally the same exact night, actually probably second edition as opposed to first edition, which is what we use. Yeah. Same exact game. It's just, that hurts.
I didn't know that.
It was announced an hour ago.
Okay, I was like, I haven't been paying attention.
1 hour ago, yeah.
And what are the streaming hours again, Mathis?
7 p.m. to like midnight.
Yeah, it's during our time and they end before we end, I think.
They start an hour. They start an hour after we start, and then go later than we do.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
We could talk about. I mean, honestly, we could always talk about shifting days if we need to.
I'm
free. I'm actually free Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like, I could swap it around. I think it's.
You know what it was? You know what it was? The storyteller over there, whoever it ends up being, is
executive goth.
I'm watching Mathis, and this newbie rookie DM, this green DM is doing way too good.
Dude, Mathis,
they're doing way too good. I got to show him up. I got to show up this rookie DM.
You don't need to jerk me off.
It's just throwing shade at you.
Looks like the storyteller for them is going to be Taliesin Jaff. He's a voice actor, professional D&D player, etc., etc. Cool. No, that's cool. I'm glad to see. I honestly think
it deserves more attention. It's actually a really good system. Like, I constantly keep saying that every time we do our wrap up. Every time we do our wrap up, I'm like, this game is like such a good game.
That world is like my favorite. I could storytell that world for forever.
Someone else wanted me to
switch over to do an Archangel. Do you want me to run Archangel on Thursdays instead?
No.
That would be cool.
We'll go hunt the Critical Role crew.
Yeah.
Like, who's your vamps? What city they in? Archangel coming for you, bitches.
Oh my God. I want to be a professional D&D player. Can I say that I'm a professional like RPer? I'm on like 3 shows a week.
Yeah, why not?
You know, I want to say
is that a thing I can say? Like, I don't say that ever. I don't know. Oh, Numenera is so good. The Loop. I played Numenera. I used to be on a show called R&D, which is research and development on roleplay, which is on MAGAP's channel, and he runs a bunch of awesome campaigns as well. And we played Numenera, and it was one of the coolest games I've actually played. It was, to me, I imagine it like a fighting game and like a sci-fi role-playing game like had a baby. Because like the way that the ability systems and like the power system work, it kind of felt like a fighting game to me. I don't know why. Just don't judge. I have a fighting game background. And then like the game itself was like this really cool sci-fi RPG with, I don't know, I really loved it. And the fan art that came from that was it was like some of the most beautiful fan art I've ever seen. And I played like a robot character named AAA, and it was so much fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I recommend that game if you've never played Numenera. It's very, very interesting. So many intricate differences. Also, Jesse Cox, fuck Jesse Cox.
Of course.
Oh, Jesse told us the story of what you guys
over our campaign.
Locked you in a box and everything.
No, the ending to that is just like you have to watch the series.
Jesse was funny with that one.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for somebody who hasn't watched it, but like the series that we made, like the ending to that was just like, we would always do 4 to 8 weeks, so I think that was an 8-week series.
If you like Numenera, you should play the game that came out for it, the CRPG.
Yeah,
Torment.
I heard that wasn't as good as like the RP. I think like for me, RPG is going to be a lot different because it's more open world, right?
Well,
like
yeah,
it's,
of course. Yeah.
It's going to be your story. Like it's a little bit more close to heart than like playing through someone else's made up linear story. Well, even if there's side options, right? I don't know. I haven't played like a story that really made me feel that way, other than maybe like Dark Margins, maybe. I don't know. I'm like trying to think of a game that like gave me enough options where I felt like I was in control of my own linear path.
Maybe we should just have Mathis run Dark Heresy instead.
Dark Heresy is what? Warhammer?
It's Warhammer,
but they don't.
That's the
they don't
D100
support it
system.
anymore.
What was that?
They don't support it anymore, though.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's supported or not.
Yeah, you can
Like,
still use the old D100 system.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't find like they don't sell it anymore.
PDFs exist.
True.
So
I'm like,
if you're not going to sell me your product, I'll get it. Like I'm willing to spend money on your company, but if you're not selling me your product, I will get your product. You know what I mean?
I really want to do a Dark Heresy. I actually will admit I have never gotten to play Dark Heresy. I have watched it in probably 4 full campaigns now. Some of them like 2-year-long campaigns, and I've watched it, but I haven't actually personally gotten to play. And so I would love to play. I've even on the Roll For It side, I've been like, come on, guys, we should play some Dark Heresy.
I like the Warhammer
on
universe.
They actually have 2 or 3 seasons of Dark Heresy already under their belt.
They do. Correct.
I like the Warhammer 40K universe, but the more I've learned about it and the more I've like read about it, I think it's a cool universe. I think it would be horrible to pen and paper play in.
What? I think it'd be amazing. I'm a huge
Warhammer
fan. Like,
yeah.
No, Dark Heresy is the pen and paper version of...
I know it is. And I feel like I just
It
feel
is
like that
fucking
world
awesome.
would not...
What are you talking about?
I don't
There is
know.
like this amazing tabletop game already. Like I don't agree with you.
All right, well, on that...
So I just noticed Bale the Elf was in chat, and that's somebody that we know IRL.
Oh, is
so
he?
I was like, hey!
I didn't see him in there. Oh, yeah, there he is. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I haven't seen him forever. I haven't seen him since back when he used to watch
GURPS.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know
So
what?
I was like, hey!
Delric, GURPS.
Yeah.
You need to run me through this because I haven't experienced it.
Oh, man, GURPS.
I've only seen it, so
Ugh,
It's work.
it is
So
work.
we'll have some really unique characters because you can super customize your characters as much as you'd like. But yeah, I love some GURPS. So maybe one day, maybe one day. Maybe one day
Made RPG. I'm still a fan of Made RPG also. Like Made RPG is the funny. I have never
I would totally
laughed
play Made RPG.
my ass off.
Mike,
so
can
much.
I not DM that one?
Yeah,
Can
I would absolutely fucking DM Made RPG.
Mike, can I dress up as a Made? Can we like force cosplay for Made RPG?
Absolutely.
I've got all this chest hair. I
It
just
is
need to have,
so
like,
much fun.
I would Made RPG the shit out of like if we ever get popular enough for like a live show,
yeah.
like at a convention.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. Be like, oop, I dropped my die. Whoops.
Oh God.
You know.
Oh my God,
God.
Scott.
Cool. On that, thank you guys for watching this week. Thank you for
Made
watching
RPG
this.
is amazing. You can make some amazing, like, very. The character creation is the best part. Like, the character creation is so cool, and like the story, like, it's so fun. Like, I have never had. That is the most fun I've had playing an RPG in a short period of time. Like, just saying.
It's
like-
good stuff.
Funny. It
All
is
right.
funny and fun.
I
Made
believe.
RPG is definitely on the docket for the future, but why don't we?
100%. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching week 34 and a half. It was a fun little side story that
That's what it's called.
There
now.
was some like mad lore bombs though.
Oh yeah, it was. There was some mad lore bombs. It's still week 34 and a half though, because we only really played for 2 hours. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on. We are gonna do something on Thursday. It won't be a normal like full on episode. It'll be me, Nika, and John, and we're gonna do some.
I think Nika was challenging you. I think after the stream or at the tail end of the stream, challenging you like, we can make this go 4 hours. We can make this interesting.
I'm not
and
gonna.
John was like, I'm down for it.
I can
like,
try. I'm willing to try.
It was like a challenge.
But it means 2 hours of backstory per, and the other person to sit there quiet for 2 hours. So like, we'll see.
You're saying backstory.
I don't know. I would be fine with that personally, but obviously I'm not going to be on this one. This is the first time I'm like, I'm not going to be on.
I know. But it won't count as one of the normal weeks. But we'll be back on Thursday regardless. And then next Tuesday should be good. And then the Tuesday after, yeah, we should be good for however long, until October 7th, because I'm getting back from BlizzCon.
October or November?
November. Sorry.
I don't know what people's plans are for Thanksgiving, so.
I cook a lot of people.
Yeah,
I have no plans. So
when things get fixed, we'll let you know. I'll let you know. But thank you guys for watching. We'll go around the room, aka these 2 people, and they can let you know what they're doing and whatnot. Maggie, what you got going on this week?
He's like these 2 people. I don't know why I'm with them.
Exactly.
This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to put something together for you guys, even though it wasn't what you were probably imagining. It wasn't what I was imagining was going to happen tonight at all. But a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about Grauman. Alrighty. So thank you guys so much. You can find me at Margaret Crone, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. I'm actually going to go stream on my channel after this. I have a new mobile setup, so I'm going to test it out in my hair. It's going to be really weird, but it's more for testing out the IRL streams, because I'm hoping that I can IRL stream during TwitchCon the whole time, which I think will be really fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Scott, what about you?
Tomorrow morning, I'm starting a brand new show, brand new series, brand new season, brand new campaign, whatever, for my Mass Effect tabletop RPG that is going live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in like 8 hours and 20 minutes. It's pretty cool. There's going to be 4 PCs involved in that one, including Frank, who's in chat right now as a moderator. That's right. Frank is there.
He's my community manager.
Yes, he is. Frank is a really good friend of Maggie's. I met Frank through Maggie, and he's playing a Krogan, because if you're playing in Mass Effect, Frank is a Krogan. Oh, and he should be one in Mass Effect too. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's taking place in 2168, so still when Shepard was very young, just recently enlisted into the military. It's non-human, no humans. Other than that, I'm actually taking Friday off this week because that's my anniversary with my wife. 5 years married. What? Can't find my ring. No lie. No clue where it is. My daughter took it. She's like, Dad, ring. Took it. Gone. But 5 years married this Friday.
As long as she didn't swallow it, that's all that matters.
No. She's smarter than that. I should get an X-ray.
Dad, ring. Anyway. Yeah, check the poops, you know. My brother swallowed a penny when he was younger. My mom had to check his poops every day. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you want to tweet the show at Lost in It Show, if you want to talk about the episodes over on the subreddit, and all the VODs will be up on YouTube in a couple of days, or if you are impatient, all subscribers can watch it immediately after the show ends. Thank you for watching, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you in just a couple days. Bye-bye.
Toodles.